Welcome to Kill Team Casuals, a podcast all about Kill Team, filmed in 3 different time zones by 3 different gents, one of whom is an absolute goddamn comic genius. Enjoy. He has become more active in it recently, though, so Rhys mentally...
Welcome. It's a big special edition of the Kill Team Casuals podcast today. It's episode number 10, and I know that Ben from Battle Brothers Tabletop is very excited to be here for the Big 10.
Ben 10 from Battle Brothers Tabletop. Yes, that is me. Joined by one of my 2 best buds in the world, Russ from GFN.
How do you do? And we've also got, I don't know what that introduction was. And we've also got, shoot it up to the left, top left. It's Rhys from not Threes to Wound, just Threes to Wound.
For those who were wondering, it is just Threes to Wound. No wordplay.
Not Threes to Wound? Oh,
not Threes to Wound.
It's upsetting. It's upsetting.
I did like you were called out for then also saying when you did your research, not saying research as well.
Research. There's so much going on.
Missed opportunities. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
So many lost opportunities.
Can you imagine how egistical you'd have to be to name your channel like after your name, like Threes to Wound, like assuming people would get it? Like, I just love the idea. I laugh way too hard on this podcast.
Oh, Russ is scooping out his eyes. It's late there, early here. Ben's in the middle. Where I must admit, I didn't think we would make it to episode 10. Are you guys surprised we got here this quickly?
This quickly? Yeah.
This quickly, definitely. I thought it would be on like maybe one a month or maybe like one every few months. I thought we'd maybe cobble together one a few months maybe. And it would be on like episode 3 or something by now.
And
we're just cranking through them.
Still a push to go daily as well. So that's probably
man. Those
true.
are good casualists. Yes, I think it was like somebody like upvoted it like 50 times. It was like oh my gosh, I've never seen this big a reaction, and which is very cool. It's cool, isn't it coul? Like, not to get too sentimental, but like it's very cool. And thank you guys for watching and listening. And big shout out to Latvia, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we are. Big shout out to those in Latvia.
This is the first time a country is getting shouted out by the Kill Team 3. The KTK 3. The KTKK? No. The
KTK.
The KTC 3.
The KTC 3. Oh, this is terrible.
The KTC threes. There we go. Nailed it. We are the number one hobby podcast in Latvia, baby. Shout out to you guys. We love you right now. Maybe not next week.
3 of you listening. Thank you so much.
But yeah, so very cool. It's cool to have made it to 10 and that people like it as much because we also like doing it. So
yes,
thanks a ton, guys.
It's what gets us out of bed once a week, or in my case, me out of bed. You guys keeps you out of bed.
Keeps me from bed.
It's been another interesting week in Kill Team. We were talking a few weeks ago about the hobby squeeze that you feel as content creators, but also just as hobbyists, where if you're playing games, you're obviously not having as much time for modeling. And if you're modeling, you're not having as much time for painting. How have you guys been going? What are you working on putting together? What are you painting? Are you playing games? What are you guys doing at the moment?
Oh, man. I've been doing a lot of playing Kill Team, actually, which is not my norm. I normally think a lot about Kill Team and make videos about it, which is not a good combo. But and just this past week at the local game store, shout out to Warpfire Games, best game store. I'm going to say for sure in Central Florida, but then I'm going to say my guess is that it's the best game store ever. And in the whole world, but maybe not Latvia. Maybe Latvia has a better game store. I don't know.
Probably
they're pretty solid. They have good taste over there, you know. We had a game in my area. There's not a ton of Kill Team players, but we had like 8 people playing Kill Team at the store on Friday, and so that was really cool. So, and we had 2 4-player games happening at the same time, and like 6 out of those 8 people, it was their first game of Kill Team. And I don't know if I would recommend multiplayer games as the teaching game. But I know Kill Team. Someone else there sort of knows Kill Team. And then so it was like, we got to divide and conquer, and just tap me on the shoulder if you need help. And but it was a great time. Really, we had a really good time. And more Kill Team, is better. So that's what I've been doing. How about you guys?
The Church of Ben. I like it.
Yes, the Ministry of Kill Team.
The masses together. Come and learn from the original and the best. I like it.
So were you like a TO? Were you kind of like, not tournament, but you like
sort of, yeah,
organizing the play, or did you get a game in yourself?
So I was playing on one of the 4-player games, and so it was normally we just have a few people come, and my buddy at the game store was like, "Hey, I got a few people here." I was like, "Sweet, I'll bring all my junk," because I come with like a big case of everything, and I roll up, and there's like 5 people like waiting around. I was like, "Oh, dang!" And I have some people coming, so I was like rushing to set up boards. He had one board set up, and I set up the other one, and then I was just like, "All right, let's flip to the annual. I've never played with these rules yet, but let's just go for it." And pretty good, man. Like. I think, I think 4 players that know Kill Team really well would have been a breeze. It would have been great, but it did take a while to crank through because, like, not only are you teaching Kill Team, but you're teaching people how to play 3 different teams. And so,
how were the missions?
Yeah.
I mean, very simple. The ones I can't remember the ones that we played, but it was just tap a point. And I was like, okay, what's the easiest one here? And let's just do tap a point, like 1 APL to tap, and you hold it. And so it was all a blur. I'm going to be honest. Like, I don't know the specifics, but because it really was, it was just like, all right, I'm my turn. Okay. I got to go over there and fly back. And so, but it was good, man. And I love that Kill Team is offering that up because they know that, people, if you have 3 mates together, then you need multiplayer. So I think it's all good stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited about it because, that's the situation we have a lot is we're sort of getting around 4 people and then having either we're doing, I guess, our own janky version of it, like of trying to make up our own multiplayer kind of setup, or having to sort of run 2 individual, 1-versus-1 games. So I'm excited that they've kindly, like, I always thought the game system definitely had the option to do that. It was just setting up the board in such a way and making sure that the objectives. Our game's always either divulged into one poor person in the middle just got like gang bashed by everybody else, or it just kind of divulged into 2 one-on-one games with the occasional angular shot across the board, more for laughs than anything else. So it's cool. I think it's really cool they've taken that now and gone, oh yeah, wait, this does totally work, and made it legit, if you will.
I saw an interesting game, multiplayer game played on a hex-shaped board. Which I thought was very cool. It was, I was about to describe what a hex was, but that makes sense, doesn't it?
No, go on, please. Please, don't let us stop you.
Just a little 6-sided, but yeah, no,
like
it looked
a
really
square,
cool.
Yeah.
Kind of like
with
a square.
More size.
Like maybe 3 squares, and you just kind of do it. No, it looked really cool, though. It looked like a good way of doing it. And I have been looking on Reddit. A lot of people have been doing like Into the Dark, but they've been like gearing it towards like 3-player deployment using Into the Dark, because obviously you've got the walls that kind of now screen, so you can't just smash through them and stuff like that. So it's easier potentially to have, I think I saw one with 2 deployment zones right next to each other, but with a wall dividing them and then one on the other side. So I thought it was quite good. I'm not sure they're official. I think it was just someone in the community putting them out there. So I was like, oh, that might be quite fun. But yeah, I've not played it since the last edition. I played a 3-player game, and it was the classic. Someone was Death Guard, and because it was so slow, someone else was like Death Watch. They were just in a window. I was Grey Knights, and we just ended up shooting the Death Guard guy as they slowly trudged towards it. And the guy playing Death Watch was like, he's like, I think it was the first game he'd ever played with miniatures.
And he never played again.
No, no, Sid. Like, yeah, he was a big D&D fan. So he's a big D&D player, and he was like, I don't see why I would leave this building. I can just stay in this building and shoot everyone. It's like, but you won't get the victory point. He's like, but I'll kill everyone, right? And so he just stayed in there. And then, the Death Watch guy was just annoyed and just, I'll move 4 inches ahead then and get shot. And he's rolling anyway. It wasn't a great one. But yeah, no. So I've not played in the new one, but I think the new one will be fun. In terms of what I've been doing, I've been building up Galapox because I bought them. And I didn't mean to, but they look so cool. I even went into the shop, my local shop, and I saw them, and I was like, no. And I made it all the way home. And then I went on Dark Sphere,
And I was like, oh, I could just pop it in the basket for later. And then I was going on there because when you go on there and it says only one left, and you're like, well, I have to get it now because it's the only one left. There were 10 left. There was like 10 left, and I was like, oh, this is not even any urgency to this. I was like, there was no urgency, and then I still got them anyway. I was like, oh, but it's one of the purchases I haven't regretted because the models came. And those 4 big models are amazing.
My God,
they're
dude.
so much
cool.
fun. It's like they're the most like they flew together, but for some reason I've spent the most amount of time making sure they're perfect, like scraping every mold line, because they look so cool. I just want to do them justice, and they're so massive as well that they're going to take paint so nicely. You're going to get so much detail into them. Super looking forward to that. Super looking forward to them.
100%.
I think they're going to also be like a team too. Like they look cool, but they're going to be such a different play style on the board. Like having I played a game recently against the Blooded, and having one ogre, and it was an exciting centerpiece to have to fight again. Now you've got 4 of those big hulking things, but then you've got like the interesting dynamic of like the little swarms as well, who are like only 2 hit points, but
loads of them.
Yeah, but it's
have you guys played against them yet?
No, not yet. I'm really excited to either play against them or play with them. They look like a completely different team to most of the other ones that are out there.
Yeah. They're so fun to play against.
My one annoyance with the set, and I know, I'm not trying to rant, but it's the classic. So
Russ's rants.
In almost every other
Russ rants.
So in almost any other system, and even in Games Workshop, when you buy the models, you get the rules to use them in game. Like if you pick up a tactical squad, you'll get the booklet and it'll say hits on 3s. You technically get them, and there's only one game system currently available by Games Workshop that the Gellerpox can play in. They can only be used in Kill Team 2 or whatever it is, Kill Team 21, but they don't give you the rules.
Yeah, like that's a big
box on its own is sort of useless in a way. Like as a game piece, to have to buy 2 things to use one thing kind of annoyed me.
Yeah, they're not ready to go out of the box, which is what you expect once you buy something like that.
Yeah, it's half a product. They're giving me half a product, but they're expecting me to pay for 2 products to get 1 product. And I found that annoying that they didn't at least have some stats. And I didn't realize until I was assembling them. And every other kit generally comes with the rules of for the models you've just bought, so that they're not, you can't just paint them and go, oh, hang on a sec, I need to buy an entirely new book. Or go on Wikipedia and get the rules for free, which is now, I'm going to have to do it now. I'm not going to buy that book just out of principle. The fact that I bought the minis and I paid 30 odd quid for the minis to not get the rules to use said minis.
Yeah.
I'm the sucker. I bought the annual.
You already had the annual though, didn't you?
No, I bought it because I wasn't gonna get it, but my brother was so into Gellerpox. He was like, "Man, these are cool," and I was like, "And I like to, just brother stuff. It's a hobby that we share, and it's just good to connect." And so I was like, "All right, I have a bunch of stuff to trade in," and I traded in a bunch of stuff and got like $140 back on it all. And so I was like, "Okay, well, I have it in store credit. It'll probably help in the long term to own the annual. So let me go ahead and do it." And so
you can trade stuff in your local shop.
Yeah, that's just.
I told you it's the best game store in the world, dude.
That might be the best game shop ever.
You might be correct.
Yeah. No, it's the one good thing about living in Ocala, Florida, is that we have Warpfire games. Because listen, I've been trading in all my stuff, and they're just like, bring it in, brother. And I got like Into the Dark basically for free because I traded in a bunch of stuff. I got Gellerpox totally for free. The annual totally for free. I think I got like $12 left in my in-store credit account. They're the absolute best.
This is like cash for cans.
Yes.
With what?
I mean, I think at this point we need to be approaching Warpstorm Gaming for some sort of sponsorship, but they might just be the best gaming shop I've ever heard of.
They honestly, I can tell you they are, dude. They're great. Warpfire Games. They're great.
Well, if Russ gets their name right, we might be able to get a sponsorship deal.
They do. Oh,
I'll see one of them. I'm not sure how well they do things outside of the U.S. I don't know, but they also free shipping over $50, at least in the U.S.
How do I trade international? How do I trade in internationally? Do I send it over for an evaluation?
Shipping, and also in store 20% off the top, online 15% off. Always on everything. They freaking rock, dude.
I would say,
and I would be the other way around.
I might be wrong, but I'd love to hear from my fellow Australianites. I would say, talking to both of you guys, and your engagement with your local game store. Obviously, we've got like the Warhammer stores here, and we do have hobby stores that I personally in Melbourne haven't found like one that kind of does exactly that kind of thing. Not necessarily just the trade-ins, but you can come here and play the games, and we stock this, and we might obviously stock other things. I'm not sure if they don't exist if I'm not looking in the right places, but it sort of seems there's a bit of a gap. I definitely don't feel like there is what I would consider a local gaming store that sounds like what you guys have. Maybe similar. Yeah. So if it pleases anyone out there, chuck it in the comments. Let me know where I should be heading. But yeah, I think it sounds like that's a cool setup. I really do. It's nearly like part club, part shop, part everything. It's really cool.
Yeah, and great dudes too. It's great.
Yeah, that's great. Like that's what you want. You want to build the community and stuff like that around it as well.
We don't have a Warhammer shop where I'm currently living. There's no Warhammer, so we've only got the kind of like hobby shops. So we've got Tabletop Republic, and we've got Lancaster Board and Sword.
I love that name.
That's a good name though. Lancaster Board and Sword. That's pretty cool. That.
Yeah.
So like, do they do any? Hold on, I'm gonna reveal something about myself. In a former life. Do they do any LARP stuff or no?
I don't think so.
Don't think so. Okay.
I don't think so.
What kind of
LARPing did you do?
A little bit of Amtgard back in the day. A little bit of Amtgard.
I got some friends who are big into, I'm going to say Empire. I don't know if that's a thing. That might be the wrong thing, but it's a big one in England. It happens in April, I believe. And they keep trying to get me to go along, and I think eventually I might have to because it sounds fun.
Were you some form of druid, Ben? I could see you being a fantastic druid.
No, he's a dwarf. He's obviously
he's an angry dwarf.
Exactly, he's the angry dwarf. He's going to have to mow over the hair.
Grumbling
straight
around,
up, baby.
Yeah. Handing out grudges.
I would have
down to
be,
a towel.
Yeah. I would have to be a dwarf as well with the ginger beard. It kind of comes with the territory.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And what would Rhys be then? If we're talking about, would he be our Legolas? Because
obviously.
Of course. Yeah. Okay.
We had a bit of a chat, offline about if and when the old world comes back, and if we get into it, which of the factions we'd have to play. And obviously, Ben, you were the
Skaven because the rats.
The grumbly dwarf. Yep, Russ was our friendly El Ratto, and I was the Croxigore from the land down under.
I love it.
Due mainly also to my scaly skin, which is the sun's very harsh here.
Yeah, get some moisturizer.
We definitely have a whole
some coconut oil.
Lifetime supply. I was lucky enough. I got to go to my first. Not lucky enough. I chose to finally branch outside of my.
You exercise your basic human rights.
Yeah, exactly. To go outside to a social event.
You dodge the koala bears.
Drop
bears.
It's always a fight, but look, that's just life here. So I wanted to get out there and finally sort of play outside of my immediate social circle. So I went to like my first event, which was just like a kill team fun day. And I played my first games against people who don't personally know me, and it was really, really fun. It was really cool. Played one game against Custodes, so I won't hold that against my opponent too hardly there.
What did you run?
I was running my Wormblade because why would I want to make it easy on myself?
I was going to say that is a testing first tournament to go with so many moving parts in a team. But it was okay?
It was good. The Custodes, it was okay.
I got no faith in you, of course, but I'm sure it was fine.
No,
it was tricky, but
the Custodes did beat me in that first game. It was a good game, but they're just so hard to kill, and we were playing on the Morok terrain, so lots of heavy. But of course, once you get some big Custodes bodies sitting on objectives, they're quite hard to shift. So my favorite thing though was the mining laser taking 15 wounds off one custo. That's pretty much anything else dead, and the custo was like, "Yeah, I've still got 3 wounds left, and I'm not injured.
I'm not even injured because I'm a peerless warrior."
Exactly. The counter striking was always very vicious. I will definitely say that. So that was really cool. And then the second game was against some Vet Guard, which was actually some Vet Guard modeled with Catachans, which was really cool because I still love those.
Very cool. Me too. I'm a sucker for them.
People say they look really bad. I really like them still.
I'm into it.
They look class.
Speaking of old guard stuff, did I say this in the last pod? I picked up some old Vostroyans.
Oh wow!
I remember seeing the model before, but I don't think it made the pod. I think it was pre-pod chat.
Yeah, shout out to Warpfire Games for hooking me up with some lovely old Vostroyans. And I'm going to pick up some more and hopefully make Vet Guard. Anyway, sorry, back to you.
I do have to check though. Are you now going to green stuff further hats on top of the existing hats and mustaches on mustaches?
Yes, just to further embellish. Yeah, I do have a question though.
Blind spot.
They're the Vet Guard, so they have double furry hats. That's how you know they're veterans.
That checks out. Yeah, that checks out.
Stacked up, just like way too high.
Like mustaches, like on their chins and foreheads, just everywhere. Mustaches.
Just turn the eyebrows into a
But anyway, so. Catachan was a good game. I managed to get the win in that one, but it was it went down to the very nice. It went down to the wire. It was a close game. But yeah, it was the thing. It's always interesting, and I found this twice. Being Wormblade player like predominantly, it's so interesting when you do play a team that has just as many, if not more, activations than you.
Yeah.
It's always like I always like to, out activate people. Just using your plebs to draw things out and moves. And all of a sudden you're like, I can't do that in this game. I have to be a bit more proactive. So it was a good challenge. I really, really enjoyed it. So thank you to my 2 opponents down there. That was at Warplings Wargaming Club.
We're going to have to beep that. Because we are officially sponsored by Warfire Gaming.
They don't sell them. They don't sell it. It's okay. They don't sell anything. It's just an event. I swear. Don't cut the deal. Don't cut the deal. It's still good.
We'll let it fly for now.
Thank you. Thank you to those guys. Though I had a blast. And it was really cool too.
I'm sorry. That's their lawyers on the phone now. We're gonna have to beep it. It's gone. It's gone. Sorry, Rhys, mate. Sorry, man.
Jeez. Well, we tried.
So close. I'm gonna have to tell my wife to go back to work now, guys. Just told her she could finally quit.
That check, and then they were like, "What did Rhys say?" Forget it.
Where am I going to trade my models in now?
No. I'm just taking the jacuzzi out of the shopping basket now on the online. Nope, can't have it. Rhys mentioned the wrong place.
There's only one left though, Russ. There's only one left.
It's bought. Oh, what have I done?
Put it on the credit card.
Let it burn. Let it ride.
Oh, geez.
That's cool that you went to a tournament. So was it more of a? Did they announce winners? Did you use? I don't know if you use Best Coast pairings.
BCP.
Was it like no? This was more just a casual day. So this was just like
that's pretty cool. I like that.
Turn up and play. Which I would like to go to a tournament thing again. Please, I've got to work out when and where they are. But I would like to get to that point. But I think I want to do a few more of these days, just getting used to because playing the game with someone you don't know is actually a different experience because you don't have that pre-built casuality about it, but you also it makes you rethink and make sure you got the rules right is probably the number one. You can have a lot of house rules or you and your mates think it goes one way and then you go into the real world and someone's like, because we had that classic mistake in the first game, same thing that I was doing for a long time, thinking that vantage points got rid of heavy cover as well. That was one of my early on mistakes, and it's very common.
Super common, yeah.
And just because of out of lack of comfort with how you're playing, the first few turns we were playing it that way, and then I was like, hang on a second, we've had that wrong. And he was like, oh, you sure? Like, gentleman's agreement. We went back, read the rules together, and oh, yep. And it was all good. But it was that moment of, yeah, you've got getting those rules right. It's a great way to do it. It gets you better at having everything buttoned down.
Yeah, that's lovely.
For sure.
So, no, it was a very, very good event. Now, Russ, one thing I wanted to ask you, we'll talk about the multiplayer stuff in the annual, but you had a pretty cool idea that you were floating around with the to the death missions or the last man standing.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of look at.
This is something I can't believe I think I was chatting with you guys about it. And I was just talking about how I really wanted for the like narrative campaign. I've got this idea. Depending on when this comes out in the next few days, well, it's already out. But in the narrative story, I kind of hinted at. I always like throw these little like strands out there. I'm always playing it. Yeah, well, I always play it like I'm a DM because I used to do like D&D, and I always throw these random tendrils out and see what players latch onto. So that I'm always kind of adding these little things. So if I like the idea of that mission, I can be like, well, I've kind of like hinted at it here, but I want to do that one, so I'll follow that route. But there was an idea that I wanted, a bunch of sisters have gone into this place where the hab blocks are, but the hab blocks have been infected with some sort of virus, potentially a Nurgle element, just because I like Nurgle and I've got a lot of poxwalkers. And what I wanted to do is have a horde mission where there's these bunch of sisters, a kill team of sisters, going through this like abandoned hab block, and there's just poxwalkers after poxwalkers coming at them in waves and waves. And then I was saying that, and Rhys was like, they've got missions for that in the new annual. And I was like, what?
Idiot.
I didn't even realize because obviously I'm the only one who didn't buy the book. So I was like, oh crap. So I'm looking forward to. I've got the missions now. Thanks, Rhys. I've got the missions now, so I'm gonna give them a try, I think, or at least look at them for inspiration. But I might still house rule it, depending on how, because I've got an image of how I want it to go, and I'm not sure the missions will be exactly how I want it to go. But yeah, I really like the idea of a horde mission. But it's so cool that they added it in. I'm guessing apropos of nothing, no one was like, give us horde missions. But I always think of, this is going to show my age. You guys ever played, there's this old school PC game called Alien versus Predator. And it was like, I think it was Alien versus Predator. I think, Rhys is probably more my age. I love it. Yeah. So it was called, and it was like a Stranded, I think it was called.
Hey, hold on, guys. Hey, what's a PC?
Let me get out the old hearing horn.
What's Windows?
What you saying, you whippersnapper? Windows 95 game for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But it was Stranded mission. Basically, you started as Marines and you had a race to get to this bunker. And then when you were in this bunker, you were just getting attacked by waves of the aliens. And then I'm sure there'd be like a predator just randomly around killing everyone. But that's the kind of idea that I have. But yeah, I'm going to try those missions out. But yeah, have you used any of them? I know you were doing the 3 and 4 player, but not dipping into them yet.
I haven't, but I'm really interested in it. Does it lean itself towards like sad hammering, where it's just yourself and then piloting a wave? Does it lean towards that, or is it more of like somebody pilots the horde, somebody pilots the?
Why are you asking, Russ? What are you suggesting there, Ben?
No, I was actually asking you. I know I can't tell, but I was looking at you.
What are you suggesting? What are you suggesting? God damn it.
You're the one. You probably looked at them more. Both of you guys have looked at them more than I have. So
I've not looked at them yet. I know I've got them, but I've not looked yet. So this is really sorry.
This backfired massively.
In my mind, I was going to be using the Poxwalkers as sort of like a DM team, sort of like not a Space Hulk, Deathwatch, where like they have tokens.
Oh yeah,
and they can come on, but you can play them. But I guess you could solo play Sad Hammer it as well. I guess that would work with that. But in my mind, I would be running them, and the other player would be the sisters team.
And that's like Curse City. Yeah. Curse City does that as well with the randomly generated and all that thing. Yeah, like you roll the dice and that shows their actions that they do and all that sort of thing. So you can sad hammer it, and I would know.
Oh really? Have they actually built like, they probably don't call it sad hammer, right? But they actually built that into the annual rules.
Yeah, well,
roll up your mission.
Play this one.
Not into this, into Cursed City, which is the Warhammer Quest one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
That you can play where you and your friends play the heroes, and then the baddies kind of look after themselves.
AI kind of, they call it, don't
exactly
they?
right. Yeah. But no, I reckon there's definitely. Hey, I'm sure Russ, as a dungeon master, that you'll be fine conjuring up some magic to power the poxwalkers around the board.
Yeah, that's dope.
I think
it's some Gellerpox in there would be fun.
Oh man, I'd love that. I don't think that's what I'm doing at the moment. I need to get them painted up. I've got so many projects on the go. Like, I want to paint the terrain for Into the Dark, both teams. I finally built both teams, but then
I've done a panel.
And it looks great, by the way.
Looks amazing.
Really looks
good,
super dude.
You did a great job. And in about 4 years' time, you'll have a complete set.
That's what I was like. I did the one panel, and I was like, and maybe I did pick the most busy of panels, but I was like, I didn't realize how many like details were in it. Like I don't know if you guys can see it, but like there's lights, there's grills, there's cables, there's dials, there's skulls. And once I was like, oh, well, if I've done that, I probably need to put a bit on that. Oh, now I actually probably need to. And before you knew it, I was like, you nearly can't tell what color the main thing is because there's so much other stuff
detail going on.
Yeah,
I mean, it'll look amazing if you can keep that level of detail. If you can keep that going,
yeah.
But it's
lovely, man.
To that level.
Even getting it base coded. So what I did, because I was working from home the other day, I was literally had like this system where I would I had my little board that I put things on. I'd set it up, spray that'd be like drying outside. Then I'd come up and I'd set a timer and I'd like work for X amount of minutes. The time would go off, I'd run down, sort of
for
flip
3
it.
minutes.
Yeah, do the other side. Run back upstairs, work for 5 minutes again, and I did this throughout the whole day. My wife's like, "Are you okay? So, do you need to go to are you running to the toilet? Like, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "No, it's all this." And it took me literally a day to get through all of it with that system. And I did neither my job or the base coding well. But I got there. It's all done. It's all at least undercoated. And it was 1.5 rattle cans worth of
oh my goodness,
base coating spray.
There's so much of it. Yeah. I was basically staring at the box. I've got it all in the lid of the box, all constructed. And I spent about 10 minutes just staring at it, contemplating masking it up and then putting putty. And I was filing. Just like, oh my God. Yeah, like I was thinking, do I spray it and then scrape the paint off? Or do I like mask it up, but then like inside the columns, like I've got to, that's got to be like, and I was like, I just had it like paralysis. I was just looking at it going, I have no idea where to start. And I know it's just spraying it black. Yeah. And it's just spraying it black. But I just had one of those days where I was just like, I don't think I can brave this. This is a bigger job than I've got energy in me right now. It looks so cool. Daunting. I want it done. You know what I mean? I just want to be like, get Ben's people on it and just have a full set. It looks so cool.
The thing that got me motivated to start was I had to get more undercoat, and I saw at like the local Warhammer store that they just literally all they'd done was they base coated and then like just 3-color dry brush. On half of it sort of like a blue, and then on the other like a dark red, and it just looked so cool. And that was all. They hadn't picked out any details yet. It was just over the whole thing, these 2 different color sort of dry brushes. So it was like this side of the ship was that color, this side was that color, and it just
that's cool.
Like, that's so cool. So that was kind of what was like, just get started. You just got to start doing something, and then it'll slowly. It'll get there.
Take shape. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Are you guys making any progress with the Intercession challenge? I'm getting a lot of entries that are finished at the moment. A lot of people are sending me, no, that faces don't look good. Well, I'll tell you what, the community's doing really well because I've had so many sent through and I'm really excited. Tell us how miserably you guys are failing.
Have any of those submissions forgotten to put their names on? That I could jump in and claim, maybe. Rhys, level with me. Rhys,
we make the rules. We make the rules. So yes,
pick the best one.
Pick the best one.
Yeah. I thought your team was basically painted. I thought yours were like all painted up, basically.
I think I think they're probably good enough that I could take a picture and you wouldn't realize the bits that I haven't painted, which is effectively all the challenge needs to be. They need to be picture worthy. I don't know.
From one angle.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think they need to be like hot from far away, that classic HFFA. Hot from far away I can do.
That's my nickname in high school. Yeah.
Well, but up close they're nasty. That's the nickname. Yeah. They are, I don't know. They're all right. I realized, I think Rhys posted a picture in the chat. You were like almost getting there with the intercessor. And I was just like, and I kind of looked at my my shelf and I was like,
I've gotten so distracted.
I just threw pigment powders at them. And I think it's actually worked. Honestly, I was like,
you're throwing them from afar as well.
For real. Pigment powders save my paint job so much. Because I always intended to dirty them up. And this time I haven't mixed it with white spirit. I've done the classic of just like smashing it in there. Like, just like, so I put it in there, like, and I added crackle paint when I was building them because I knew it would sink in, it would cling to it, and it would look kind of more grubby.
What is crackle paint?
Crackle paint's like Mars Earth tone.
Oh
Earth
yeah,
crust.
like okay, makes sense. I was like,
that's the G-dubs one.
I thought there was new magic that I was. I was like,
no, it's just that. It's just that.
That's how casual I am. I'm like, what does that mean? I'm like, is that a cereal? It's a cereal.
There's off-brand G-dub stuff that I was using. I think that is just called crackle paint. It's like no frills. You gotta. I generally varnish afterwards because otherwise, like a stiff breeze and it blows away in the wind. But yeah, I'm getting there. But yeah, don't look too closely. Like squint and hold them far away. Don't zoom in on the picture when we go through the challenge.
Yes,
and they'll be fine.
Well, look, you weren't in the running to win anyway.
How the Flame Eagle's doing?
Look, guys, I have not.
You still doing Flame Eagles, right?
I'm going to. I will do it. I'm not gonna whip out. No, I swear, I'm not gonna whip out.
We've done a DNA test, Ben, and that is a lie.
I'm going to do it. I will not back down. I may do it at like it's going to be
for the
last hour, the midnight hour. It's going to be a midnight hour thing, but I'm going to make it happen.
Yellow last minute.
Yeah.
It's going to look amazing. I just have to get it done. And also my salamanders. I'll tell you what, guys. Why I haven't touched it because I hit a roadblock on my salamanders. Because I was feeling good about my green stuff sculpting. I'm like, I had like about a year into this, and I'm starting to feel like, okay, I think I sort of kind of getting the feel for it. And then I tried painting scales, and I just, almost, just threw my green stuff out the window because I've had such a hard time sculpting it by hand, and I'm so frustrated. And I was like, all right, screw it. I'm going to go. I'm going to build breachers. I'm going to build red corsairs that I don't need. I'm going to build Kroot. I'm just going to forget them and
building some
come
hats.
back to them. Yeah. Honestly, I've sculpted hats on my breachers. And so I am failing. What about you, Rhys?
I've got one of the 6 is completely done. One is at the point I literally just need to do the black rim on the base. And then the other 4 are all at
nice rim job.
But yeah, exactly at base coat level. So like all the base coat colors
are me so late.
Yeah,
that was a dumb joke. It was very middle school. I'm sorry.
This rim not touched yet. Then. So I'm getting there, but it was I was a bit like you, Ben. I kept getting distracted by everything and anything else, like the ITD terrain, like, and I'm like that. I got hobby ADD. Like I'm doing a little bit of this. Now I'm going to do this.
Who picked to do a challenge? Yeah. Who picked to do a challenge right as we're getting into the dark? We're getting into sessions. We're getting boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Now speaking of these challenges, right? Yes. With next month being ORKTOBER.
Yes.
I think, and also what was mentioned. Yeah, you're all of us like, oh, like, we all just like shriveled.
I just thought about it.
Another challenge. People are going. I know we have stuff to get to. People are loving the idea of an orc proxy team.
Yes,
like they heard it. We said, did we say it on air? We must have.
Yeah.
And then that was like gospel. People took it and want to do it so bad. And I think it's a great idea. What say you guys?
I think we do Drukhari instead because it's coming out of left field. No one's anticipated it. There's no decent team, and just be like, go.
So there you go. Russ is going to do orcs,
just feel
but they are actually
feel
fielded as Drukhari.
The weight of disappointment.
That disappointment. Just I'd love to do orcs. Orcs are one
proxies.
of the orcs and Nurgle are the best teams.
they really
any
just touch
kind
your
of
heart.
proxying, any kind of green stuff and kit bashing. They're just they work so well.
Yeah, so as a little if you made it this far, and you like what we do here, that's a little sneak peek to next month. And I don't know how much we'll be able to participate. I'll just put that out there. I don't know how much the three of us will be able to participate, but we'll do what we can.
We might be facilitating rather than participating.
Yes, but we want to put that out. Yeah, we might have to. I don't know if I have a choice.
Maybe. How's this? How is this? Right off the top of my shiny dome. How about put your slightly bigger glasses on, people, lean in, like everyone literally did in unison. How about we all build one team together?
So team.
So it's like team.
Yeah, so if it's like Custodes or like the classic, I'm not going to steal Sean's.
So we only have 4 models to build.
Yeah, basically. Sean.
That's the big brain move, dude.
From Once Upon a Kill Team, obviously has laid claim to
lovely Custodes.
Amazing. Is it Custodes or Orktodes? Oh,
no, you were right. You were right.
It's either way.
Is it Custodes?
We could do Custodes then, because that's not great. If there's another way of saying it, bang, that's us.
Open season,
it's a new
baby.
idea. Yeah. It's fresh. Russ, I really want you to explore the BDSM orcs of the Drukhari. I think you skipped over that.
I'm onto something.
You gotta have a pain boy in there, right?
Drukhari orcs.
Sure. Oh yes. That's not bad.
I know, dude. Orcs are just this good.
They've just got everything, haven't they?
Just like that big fist, the big claw hand. Yeah. This is orcs are just
coconut
the best.
Oil in his other hand, ready to roll.
Oh god, so good.
That'd be
beautiful. So that's our little sneak preview of next month's challenge. We'll have a name for it, but it'll be the orc proxy. I was about to try and snipe a name. It was going to be like Proxy.
Yeah, we'll spitball that.
By a bee's wiener, that was almost perfect.
For a split second in my head, I thought it was so good, and then I was about to say it out loud, and I was like, "Oh no, abort!"
And then you did it
in misfire.
God, I love doing this podcast. Okay. Where are we at? Yeah. So
on that note, let's put ORKTOBER to bed for now. We'll come back.
Did we say porksies?
No, we didn't say porksies.
Proxies? No, it's terrible. You know what? I just did the same thing. I just had the same journey of that's great, that's rubbish. That's rubbish. Recover.
It's out
terrible.
There. It's out there.
I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to tell you what we're going to do for ORKTOBER to celebrate ORKTOBER as well.
Proc squigs. That's we're honing in.
It's better, and that's
we're honing in.
Yeah,
we're honing in.
If skip ahead 30 minutes and we've got it. If 30 minutes time of us riffing, we'll have the perfect one.
Yeah, we'll
do yourself a favor, skip ahead. I don't suppose Rhys has money, wants to come in and we can just hard cut and you can be like proxies, but like a good one.
I'm smart enough to self-censor here. I'm just saving my bullets. I'm going to let you guys fire all the trash.
Sitting here kind of like, no. Yeah. Something else we're going to do for ORKTOBER is we're going to spice up Legions of Russ. And I think what we're going to go for is I don't know how many clan cultures there are, There might only be like 3.
You've done zero research, but
actually, you know what? I've done 0. But it's going to be, if it's not clan cultures, I'm going to go for characters. So famous characters. But I'm going to go obscure famous characters.
I like
because
it.
obviously, otherwise you just
They're
be
all
like first
obscure
guess
to me.
Gazgul, and it'd be like, well, obviously, but they're going to be obscure.
I think that's good too, because I think even as Ben touched on, even the more only slightly obscure ones are still well out of my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Like, because
to be fair,
we
had Space Wolves, and you guys, the guests. I mean, you guys didn't get Space Wolves, so
excuse me. I got 2 points for Space Wolves.
I lost sleep over that.
I got
you
2.
You didn't get. You got 2 points for Yellow Jackets.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to address this. We have to address the issue we had on the last episode, and I'm going to give him his moment in the sun.
We should have done this up top. This is upsetting.
This is big news. So there was a slight mix-up in the back office of Legions of Russ staff. I've fired 3 people over the max. Trevor's getting fired for the teleprompter. Over the mix-up. Thanks, Trevor. You're fired. I don't care. I don't care about your bills. No, honestly, mate. Get out. Anyway.
His kids will be fine.
Wasn't it Trev's birthday?
Yeah. He's you know what? He's going to be destitute in a couple of weeks, but we don't care about him because he's messed up the show. And we've fixed up the issues. We've fixed it. I don't care if he'd be homeless, Trev. Get out. Anyway, we've fixed the issue, and Ben is actually the champ again.
Champ is in the house, baby.
The champ is in the house.
It was always me. It was always... Even when it really wasn't. It was
even
always
when losing.
Even when I sucked. It was always me, baby.
I don't know how. It feels like you've lost so many times. But...
I don't understand how this has come around. I don't understand.
Shout out to Joe. Shout out to Joe from the deli in the Discord. Always believed in me. Always had my back. I want to thank Joe from the deli. I want to thank Alan. Alan Chapman.
Alan Chapman.
I want to thank Too Many Teams Made. Oh,
I am now rooting for Rhys to win and just strip this title.
The little Aussie Batman. Come on, get around.
All it took was this much to go to my head.
So there's half a point in it, basically. Half a point in it. Yeah. So what? So he's finally done the Brit accent. Half a point. So we're going to spice things up with Legions of Russ, but we're going to keep it. Every season's going to remain the same, so we're going to have a nice. So we're going to continue with our current scoring system, but we might be reviewing how it gets scored in future seasons, just so we can spice things up.
I think it needs to be, because if you win 900 times in a row, you should be able to win the thing. Ben shouldn't be able to just technicality walk back in and
on a technicality.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
What?
Excuse me, bro.
As written. But yeah, so it wasn't clear in the audio version, but Ben, the new champ, has regained his title by half a point. Rhys is still the Guestinental champion.
Yeah, still with the Guestinental.
I can't take that from him.
To win the guest tournament, but Ben has come back and he's currently the heavyweight Legions of Russ champion.
I'm scrappy. I'm fighting for it.
But
I'm scrappy.
All this talk is going to lead us into. He took that loss hard. He's back with his notebook. He's ready to.
I've been on the wiki's looking at all the obscure chapters, just rubbing them in my eyes, getting ready.
So I think this means, I think this means that we are into Legions of Russ now.
Oh my goodness!
Good luck to us. We'll only say this once. It's finally time for Legions of Russ.
All right, I'm here for blood. Let's get it.
It's all
we
to
are
play for, ladies and
into
gentlemen.
Legions of Russ, round 7, part 2, back for blood.
Do it, baby.
Yeah, I've got them here. They weren't ready, but now we are ready. So if you have never listened to a podcast before, why would you start on episode 10? Ask yourself that question. Ask yourself that question. That's on you. You don't deserve an explanation, honestly.
Or episodes 1 through 9. You don't deserve episodes 1 through 9 either.
No. You know what? Delete this podcast. Unlisten to this now. So if you've never listened to this podcast before, Legions of Russ is a little mini game we do when we have to guess a chapter, an obscure chapter mostly, of Space Marine chapters. I worded that very well. So you've got to guess the Space Marine chapter. It's obscure, and the clue riddle is also obscure. It is an obscure, tedious link style clue that Ben, Champ, and Rhys, former Champ, have to guess. And they get points. If you guess without any clues, you can get 2 victory points. 2 points, not victory points, but let's call them victory points because it is a victory if you get them. Yeah. 2 VP if you can guess without any clues. Currently in this season of Legions of Russ, if you guess half of or a part of the Legion or the chapter, you get half a point. If it goes to clues, it goes down to 1 point. 1 point. If you guess Rhys.
Rhys. Hi.
Great to have you here.
Thank you. First time caller, long time listener. What do we clarify? What if you get the first half on a 2-pointer? Why is that only worth 0.5? Because this is what's cost me. This has cost me.
This has cost you the point. So currently, it's whether or not you guys think getting half of it with no clues is as good as getting the full one with some clues.
Or is that the real question? Is that now the trade-off? Is you can bank half a point, which is something but not great.
That's currently how it plays. That's how season 1 is playing. We might shuffle it around in season 2 and try something new, but at the moment, it is
Rules
still
is
just
written
half a point. Yeah,
before the FAQ.
We will have an FAQ, a season 2 FAQ, if you will, if we do. And then we might explore new points scoring systems. But at the moment, we're going to keep it even because it's got us this far.
I think it works great just as it is.
Ben thinks it works just fine. As always, your name is your buzzer. If you're listening at home, you must be traveling to play. It is a rule that we've now stuck with. So you have to be in some form of transport or anything really. So get your jackets on, get out walking. And this one, I guess let's just get into it. We've got 2 guessing today, and we've got 2 contestants. We've got Ben, the champ, and we've got Rhys, the former champ. Both of these players are championship caliber.
Former champ, current loser. Just wanted to clarify.
Legions of Russes.
Highly motivated loser, you may call me.
And I'm former loser, current champ. That's what they'll put on my headstone if I die right now.
Okay. Ben, champ, you ready?
Body and soul.
Body and soul. Former champ, Rhys?
Physically, yes. Emotionally, no.
Emotionally, no. That is the sweet spot where Legions of Russ lives. Okay, people at home, get ready. We're going into Legions of Russ. Round 7. Okay, I'm going to read it out, and then I'll tell you, and I'll break it down into the individual words. So, if it's a man in a van, what are men in? I'm not sure. I've definitely eaten in the past, and to move a rowboat, I'm going to need some of these. The famous wizard presses hot metal against his robes for formal occasions. How you guys doing? I'm going to go through it again.
Yep.
Please do.
So, if it's a man in a van, what are men in? I'm not sure. I've definitely eaten in the past, and to move a rowboat, I'm going to need some of these. The famous wizard presses hot metal against his robes for formal occasions. I think this one, I've mixed in ones that feel relatively easy to get with ones that are relatively not easy to get.
Do you hear how silent both of us are?
I've got the first word.
Oh, really?
But after the stitch-ups of the past, I'm not willing to fire it out there.
You're not willing to fire it out
I'm
there.
going for home runs.
You're waiting for that 1 point.
Yeah.
That half a point would definitely tie you up, though.
That would.
I'm here for the win, baby. No one wins when you draw.
He's not playing. So I'll break it down in the words I'll break it down into several words. So we got word 1, which is, if it's a man in a van, what are men in? I'm not sure. I've definitely eaten in the past. And to move a rowboat, I'm going to need some of these. So that's the first word. There's an adjoining word, but we don't include them. And then the second word is, the famous wizard presses hot metal against his robes for formal occasions.
Oh. Can you give me the classic? Read it slower for me,
Sure.
or just give it to me again. The first word. Yeah, sure.
So the first word, if it's a man in a van, what are men in? I'm not sure. I've definitely eaten in the past, and to move a rowboat, I'm going to need some of these. And then word 2 is, the famous wizard presses hot metal against his robes for formal occasions.
How many words total, including the
including the adjoining words? We've got 3 words.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Rhys is okay.
Closing in.
Did you want to make a guess, Rhys? Is he going for it? Worth 2 points.
Can you just do the second bit? Can I have the Ben special and read the second part slot?
Sure.
The second word.
The famous wizard presses hot metal against his robes for formal occasions.
Nah, that's cooking me, that one.
Last part again.
The famous wizard presses hot metal against his robes for formal occasions.
I've got like part of that.
Yeah.
It's the top and tail that I'm struggling with. Because that's like 3 parts, isn't it?
Is
it 2 words with 1 adjoining in the middle again?
It is, 3 words, but not there is an adjoining word, but we don't tend to use them. So technically there is an adjoining word, which I won't tell you just because it might.
Yeah, might swing it.
It might help you kind of get it.
All right. I'm Ben.
Oh,
now hold on. If you let me just clarify. I've only played 7 rounds of this. I should know. If I guess the first part and get it right, can I also guess the second part before clues to get the full 2 points? Okay.
Yeah.
Ben.
Okay.
Venerators. It's like
do you want to keep going? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, you might as well, if you're going to have a guess, just have a punt at it.
So, venerators. Do I have to guess the middle word?
No. I mean, if you got it wrong, you would still get it if you got the two main words right. They're the 2 main things, really.
Venerators of iron?
It's still just going to be half a point. I'm not going to tell you which bit you got right.
I think I know which one. There's only one that I
think you know which bit you got right, but yeah, I'm not going to. That does mean it goes up to 6.5 for Ben.
There's a count that I had There's a count that I had the first word well before him. That's all I'm saying.
I think we.
That's 3 points, yeah.
I'll take his points away. It's only fair.
All right, I'm happy to go into 1 point land because I was very confident with the first bit, but I'm stuck with the second.
Can we get Can we get one more reading? Or no?
No, you can get another reading.
Oh!
Holy shit. Oh, no.
Oh, dude. Can I get one more reading, please? I was... It's all in the wizard.
The emotion.
It's all in the wizard. It's all in the wizard. The wizard has the key. It's all in... Rhys, it's all in the wizard. I was thinking about the wrong wizard.
Have you got it then? Do you need it again?
Oh, Ben.
Oh?
Venerators of...
Yeah.
I was thinking... Oh, I'm going to swing for it. I was thinking Gandalf. I was thinking Merlin. Venerators of Oz-Iron.
Oh, yeah. It's basically Oziron.
Is it Oz?
It's a siren, but I basically Oz, so it is Osiron, which is Oziron. You got it.
Oh my!
That's
Oz.
2
Okay.
points. Yeah, so it was the wizard Oz.
Oh my gosh,
Well,
guys! I'm
Is
shaking. I'm shaking, guys.
This is an
You
outrage.
see this? I'm shaking right now. My hands are shaking.
I was
like,
on the
okay.
wrong path of the wizard. That's where I was wrong. I had
were you thinking
Venerators of
Gandalf?
Iron for ages.
You had that for ages?
I had Merlin. I had Harry. I had Ron. I was going every type of wizard I could think of, but not the Wizard of Oz. Well done.
The Wizard of Oz.
As mad at you as I am, well done. Good lateral thinking.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh! I don't know how you get this stuff so quick. I like my brain is like running circles trying to grasp at straws.
I had Venerators of Iron for ages, and I'm like, what's in front of that? I'm like, Gandalf Iron?
Yeah.
No.
I was like Gandiron, Merlion. I was like, okay.
So the
well done.
Venerators of Osiron. So yeah, I was a little bit loose with the old
little bit of a stretch there.
Osiron. Yeah, so it was a little bit of a stretch. That's the name of the game. They are Ben. I'm guaranteed these are going to be your new favorite. Almost nothing is known about this chapter in Imperial records. Yeah. They were created in some point after the second founding, and they were one of 20 chapters contacted by the Adeptus Ministorum envoy, pardon me, Balthazar van Heppel, who wanted to write a report on the Space Marines' religious beliefs for the Ecclesiarch.
Oh wow,
that's all. Yeah, that's all it really. They've got quite a cool.
Do they have? Yeah, they have a
color
scheme.
Look.
Yeah, they've got like. I'm gonna try and sum this up. It's like white chaps, and I guess it would be assless chaps, white assless chaps, and like a unitard, a blue unitard. So it's like blue torso, blue shoulders, white legs, white arms, blue crotch, and blue power pack with a white helmet. I must say, I love the blue and the white next to each other is very cool, and they've got like a red stripe on their knee as well. So I think it's quite a striking one. Blue. It's the classic,
very bold,
red, white, and blue kind of color scheme, which always looks kind of good. And it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like when you think Venerators of Osiron, maybe it doesn't make sense, but
no. That's why all I had was I knew that Rhys was close, and I was like, I know it's iron. And it's like, I know it's not Gandalf. I was like, wizard. I was like, so that was, I just had to swing for it. Oz Iron. Okay.
I would have 2 points.
And I got greedy because I could have claimed that half and tied it up at least.
I told you to do it, man. I told you to go for it.
I got greedy.
You did
got greedy.
But now 2 points. Ben's on 8.
Oh my, this feels so good.
We might be ending season 1 early.
Okay, let's not go the early crow here. Let's buddy.
Let it cook a little bit. Let it cook a little bit. Breathe.
I'm just creating a Cinderella story here, where I'm just gonna,
come back.
Bloody.
I mean, Ben doesn't get any more. You could still beat. You can still beat him.
Exactly.
Easily.
Their logo. Pardon me. Sorry, their logo is like an axe, a battle axe, double-headed battle axe with 2 lightning bolts. Kind of looks like a Stormcast Eternal logo. Ooh. Like it would be one of their Stormcast Eternal logos. Yeah, I think they've got
Stormcast Eternals look like them. Okay.
well, they must have stole. Yeah, they stole this because I think theirs is like a hammer with 2 lightning bolts, and this is an axe with 2 lightning bolts. Yeah. So very suspicious. Very suspicious. Thieves.
Oh man, it's gonna be a good week. It's going to be a good week for me, fellas.
All right, let's go. Next one.
Going in the second one. Okay, you ready, Ben?
I'm
the legend
let's
it
go.
is.
I'm on a high. I'm probably too cocky now, so sure.
That's the problem now. He's taking his glasses off, Rhys.
So I can hear better.
Yeah, good, yeah.
Okay, Rhys, how are you feeling?
Terrible. Upset. Distraught.
And normally that would be a salve to my heart, but right now I kind of want you to come back. I kind of want you to. I kind of want a 2-pointer for you. I do. I think I flip flop based on the underdog, and at the moment I'm Rhys. So I'm rooting for you, Rhys. Let's go.
Rhys is now the people's champ.
Yeah,
it's happened. Ben,
the champ of your heart.
Let the fame go to his head.
Oh,
he's now
it's too much for me to handle.
It was such a heel turn.
I'm the villain.
Up all over the place.
I've lived long enough to become the villain. Oh my God! Happens to the best of us and the worst of us, apparently.
And the worst of us, apparently. Yeah.
You're the villain this show needed. The villain this show deserves.
Okay. Number 2, the deuce. Who, what, when, where? I ask for a British hot drink, but you interrupt me before I can finish. Is this a scam? See you laters. It's a bit of a weird one. This is 2 words. Who, what, when, where? I ask for a British hot drink, but you interrupt me before I can finish. Is this a scam? See you laters.
I've got the first word.
Oh. How?
This
How
is
did you do this? Rhys
comes
I'm claiming
in with
it.
an early lead every time.
I'm cashing it in. The first word is white.
Okay, that is a point,
Oh.
half a point. Did you want to take a
that was
stab
good.
at the second one?
Oh my goodness.
While you're here, you're up to 6.
Yeah.
Did you have any thoughts in the second word?
Yeah.
How? Dude.
I do.
Ben's just looking at a plain, like an empty page at the moment.
It's a page with a question mark on it.
Thoughts. He's just got thoughts, and then it's just blank.
Now I have white. Now I have white written down.
Can I hear it one more time before I throw this? Or is that cheating to hear it?
No. Of course you can. So you got the first bit. So I'm just going to go for: is this a scam? See you laters. I'm going to give you a hint for free, which is both of you get it, Ben. Both of you get it. So
okay.
relax.
Right, let me chill. Let me chill out. I relax. Yes.
So it's see you laters. So it's more like see you later.
Yeah.
If that helps as a hint. So I'm going to go from the beginning, even though, we've got the beginning. So it's who, what, why, when. Who, what, when, where, why. I asked for a British hot drink, but you interrupt me before I can finish, which is T, but you interrupt before I can finish. So there's no A. So it's white, and it is white. And then the second part is this a scam? See you laters. Is this a scam?
Yeah, that's what's getting me. Laters.
Okay, I'm going to swing for a 2-pointer only because I know that there's a chapter. I know this. I know that this chapter exists.
Oh, I know what it is.
No one said the name yet.
Ben. Oh, white. Okay. Rhys has the key here. I'm guessing a chapter that I just know exists. Okay?
Yeah, I think you're going to get it.
I don't. White Templars.
Rhys.
No. Rhys.
White consoles?
Oh, Rhys got it.
Yes!
White consoles.
Wow. Sniped.
Done. I'm done, baby.
Consoles. Wow.
Yeah, I had the souls part, and then Scam was doing my head.
What's another? What is the souls? Someone explain the souls part. How does that make sense?
See you later is text talk. SUL. See you later. So it's the con. Is this a scam? Con. Soul. And then the
good work.
Was the
And then it was scam. I was like, scam, and I was like, trick, running it through my head. And then I thought you'd sniped it then, Ben, too. When you were like, I've got it. I'm like, he's done it.
No, I just know there's a chapter called White Templars. I was like, Templars later. I was like, this doesn't really make sense, but I just had to shoot it. Yeah.
So that was two. Was that two?
To shoot your shot. That was two. That was 2 points.
Is that
so you know what? The scores have just moved up 2 apiece.
Yeah.
So it's 7.5 to Rhys to 8.
Just flexing about a half a point lead.
So the white consoles.
Tell us. Rhys, good job, dude. Good snipe on that one.
We have a quote, which doesn't always happen, but we have a quote from the white console.
These guys up.
Yeah, so it is quite a cool one. So it goes,
"What makes a hero is not only his actions on the battlefield."
It's going to hit my thought.
A Space Marine is judged by his battle brothers and by the Emperor himself, both for the strength of his arm and the strength of his purpose.
And that is Brother Captain Longinus of the White Consoles.
A named character.
A named character. So this is getting out of that whole super unknown. These guys have a bit of something to them. So they're a Ultramarine successor chapter. This is the bizarre thing about them is they have 2 chapter masters at the same time.
What?
Which is exactly. It's kind of unheard of, but they have 2. They have Rydian Artemanus, Battle Master, and then another chapter master who is unknown. So it's a bit of a cop-out.
So they have one.
So
they really have
2,
one.
But the second one's unknown. So it's like, do you have 2 then? It's like, no, we've got 2.
It's a bit like I am Alfarius. Like,
yeah, it kind of feels like that. It kind of feels a bit like that. But they're so they've
how do you
got
feel
a bit
about
of
their
stuff
armor?
going on.
It's sort of like a Buzz Lightyear armor scheme going on.
Yeah,
here,
I'm not mad keen on it. So it is white with green trim and then blue like iconography on it, and it's sort of it's very Buzz Lightyear-y. I don't know who came first, but it's not mad keen on it.
Look, they're one of my favorite chapters now, though, because I got a 2-pointer on it. So
Console's
very cool.
Good one, man. The See You Later. I was so lost on that.
So that is Legions of Russ, and both of you got a 2-pointer, which is
that's honestly, a feel good day.
Personally devastating, if I'm honest.
I think we're both just learning, starting to. There's a follow the breadcrumbs, and also with 40K words, like there's a database of all Space Marine chapters use like the same 40 words. And then between that and then learning how learning how your brain works. Rhys is dude. Honestly, props to Rhys. I don't know how you get these so quick. Just props, dude.
Except for the fact that I don't get them because I'm losing by 0.5.
That was like a slide dig.
But you have it so quick. You get it. You get the pieces so quick.
Maybe Ben's the Hamburglar.
I lose so fast.
I am the real Hamburglar. Hold on.
Pulls off the face mask and
hold on. Would you like a?
It's old man or would you like all along.
Or a floaty. Do it that way, and then I can literally put the hamburgers.
Oh well, I'm gonna wallow in myself.
Just more work for you to tilt the head around. Just give you a lot of work to do here in the edit. Just
3D, if you can. I'm not going to do any of that.
We'd also like a small dancing cat just next to him as well, while all that's happening as well, please. Yeah,
just vibing,
just boogieing, just vibing, just feeling it. Yeah,
doing the sound effects now.
Yeah,
make it easier in the edit. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so it's there.
So you have to search cat meow MP3 sound on YouTube. Yeah,
it's happening. It's happening.
Well done, guys. Well done. That's the highest scoring game of Legions of Russ we've ever had.
Wow. That was a good one. I feel good, and I'm also angry, but I'm also just so impressed. Just a whole rage of emotions that I'm feeling right now.
You went on a roller coaster there.
Yeah. And then also, did you say White Consoles were a Ultramarine successor chapter?
They were indeed.
Speaking of Ultramarine successor chapters, oh, so slick, like it's got coconut oil all over it. And it was slick until that. We have about like a few minutes to do a spoiler review of Brothers of the Snake. And,
I brought it up. I've got it. I'm ready on my screen here to talk about it.
What a legend! Yeah. So, what did you guys? Last week we did a unspoiled. Oh, but Ben's book club. Play it around.
What you got there, buddy? Let's take a look. Don't be scared, it's just your new favorite book. Ben's Book Club.
Play it over.
Play it about.
I'm glad we played that over and around.
Play it under.
Over and around. Yep, up and down, all around. And so Ben's Book Club. What a lovely, tasty theme song. And so we are in it. This is a spoiler review. We can talk all about the stuff. So here's your last warning. If you haven't read it and you care, stop listening right now. And then now we can talk about the trench and all the goodness. And yeah. So what do you guys think? Does anybody have anything they want to kick off with?
I have my favorite part of the book.
That's a good place to start.
I must admit, is so we're allowed to spoil things now. We are now talking about this
official spoilers,
because obviously anyone, as Russ left the room, as everyone else who hasn't read it has. That's good. I love the most badass, coolest, exciting thing about it is the fact that in the first story that they send one Marine. Can I just say,
isn't it
very
so
Sparta.
cool?
Yes, it's like, and she's like, "What the hell?" And he's like, "I got this." Like,
and he's the rookie.
The company.
Yeah.
He's the rookie too.
Yeah.
It's like, and he's enough to deal with this.
Yeah,
That was
to me.
Sorry,
that
Rhys.
was the single most badassery moment of the whole book in terms of just like it set a great benchmark for, I guess, how powerful Space Marines are meant to be in the lore versus how you sometimes see them in the game. Obviously, people are like, "Oh, they're not as strong." That's because otherwise it would be a very boring game if one Space Marine was coming in.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Right.
Taking out a company of Drukhari.
yeah, exactly. There's a reason it doesn't work like that in the game. But in the lore, I thought that was so cool. I genuinely was just like, schmick.
Yeah, part of the reason why I think this book is like a great intro to Space Marines. I totally agree.
Yeah. For me, it felt like another one of the parallels to Greek mythology or Greek history, when the classic stories that Sparta would send one Spartan when their neighboring like kingdoms would be like, "We need support." And they'd be like, "We're going to send one Spartan." He would just stand out in front of the gates with the colors. But in this scenario, it's obviously because they can just kill them everywhere. He just goes in and he takes out an entire Drukhari like on his own. And he's the rookie, That was a cool moment. I did like that. I thought that was, and when they're like, "So you must be, a captain or some sort
general?"
of lieutenant? General. Is like, no, I'm the worst of them. It's like, right.
I wrote it down. What does he say? That he's like, one warrior usually suffices.
And I love how he's so casual about it too. It's like, because it shows how, I think, I forget which one of you brought it up last week. I think it was you, Rhys. It was like how it shows how Space Marines interact with just regular normies, and and it's just kind of shows like, that at least this chapter is like really kind and compassionate and doesn't, and he's like polite to this lady who, he could just like kick in the face and say, leave me alone. He like, lets her come along to like kill these Drukhari nests. And it's like very accommodating in a sweet, nice way.
They really are. Like there's a few times in the book where they go along to these, like, especially in that place when they're going along to ceremonies for new kings, and they're just like, we're just going to hang out because we know it's a big deal for the king that we're here, that we're showing our support to his ascension. And it felt odd. It's like there's wars going, and they're just like, we're going to be here, and they're just like allowing the people to come over, and like the king's got like taking selfies with them and stuff like that. And it felt like one of those moments where they were like just standing around
Ben at the local game store. He just lets people come up, gather around, rookies, plebs.
My God.
It's like, hi, we're all 30 of us are here to learn Kill Team. How will you teach us? And Ben's like, usually one Ben suffices.
Usually there's a single battle brother is needed. And here I am.
Oh, there's plenty of Ben to go around. Don't worry, fellas. Yeah.
How about you, Ben? What was your favorite part?
Oh, I think my favorite part, I like a lot of it. I love that it shows them in the armor, out of the armor. The training session is fun, where you see like there's this kind of passing of the torch from the old brutal guard to the new like thinking man's, Marines that are coming up. But I think maybe just the most like just kind of, when you see something in a movie and it just like touches like your bro feels, where it's like, oh yeah, like I want to go dap up my boy, and like it was a point where boys, and it was at the orc battle. I forget who it is, but one guy like get an orc bites his face off, and he's still alive, and so he's lost his eyes. And so he's like screaming for his brother, and his brother's like impaled on a spear to the ground, and then they find each other. And then he's like, keep firing, brother. And he's just pointing, like telling him where to shoot the bolter. And I was like, oh, I just need to go give my brother a hug or something. Like, this is just so cool. Like, so that might be one of my favorite moments. It was so brutal. But like, you have like some books are just straight up bolter porn. I think this book balances that really well, and this was just like, that was so cool. But that was one of my favorite moments. This
book does such a great job of that too, and sometimes the bolter porn's very apt terminology for a lot of it. But I think that's what makes this book good is you kind of you get that downtime and that stepping away from the battlefield, which makes those battles even more enjoyable because it doesn't feel like you're at one pace the whole time. That book does a good job of it takes you to all these really interesting battlefields, but then takes you away from the battlefield to see them out of armor, picking the new recruits. The bit that in my head, I always kind of laugh about a bit was when he's hunting down the demon that's in the captain.
Yes.
In Skander.
That was really
cool.
Did anyone else hope, though, when he did set the flamer on that guy that there was no
the wrong
demon?
guy.
Yes. That would be amazing. What I wanted is for him to like flame the guy down to nothing, and then all of a sudden the smell comes back, and he's like, "Oh God!
Oh shit! He's just torched this."
And he's like, "Trust me, even though you don't need to, like you shouldn't. But I'm gonna flame this dude now," and then just flames the entire. And then it turns out the demon's in him, and it's like,
I was 50% on that guy, but it also could be him. But that was really cool. Even the rescuing Chiron and all that stuff.
Yes,
like that. Even that was really cool. Like that
trial by worm.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
what a horrible way to figure something out. It's like, well, if I think it's like if the worm takes him, I guess he was what he was innocent. Is that how it works? Or if the worm takes him, he was guilty.
It's up there with the witch trial.
Classic. Yeah, it's basically the witch trial. If she drowns, she wasn't a witch. It's like, well, great.
And so it's like, and so, but that was just really cool. I love it. The whole like worm hunting culture and like the spear and how Priad he killed his worm on like his first throw, and it's just steeped in so much flavor. And then like the rituals of the water and all this kind of stuff. It just, oh man, I'm so obsessed. I love this chapter.
I like the interactions with the Inquisition as well. Like I'm always a big fan of. I always love Space Marine and Inquisition intermingling because it's always unique. Some of it seems buddy, some it's begrudging, some it's like, let's not talk about what happened to the Celestial Lions. Like it is that weird tempered relationship of good and bad. And this is cool to see. They obviously have that early in one story and then he comes back around, but that trust is a bit shaken, but they've kind of got to trust. Like, I found that's a really cool way. It wasn't over the top, like force fed, but it was a cool little thread that comes back around, which I really like.
It's interesting seeing how the quote unquote agents of the Imperium do interact. Like there's not like you're like, there's a begrudging, technically you outrank me, you're an Inquisitor. So and there's that weird bit where they that lady's like, she takes a shot because he was like, you need to back down. And this prince is like, you don't talk to me like this. And she shoots Pride, and he's just like, please leave. He's like, please get out of my face. And she's like, no. And then the guy
was like still polite about it.
Yeah, he was just like, and then he was like, I'm the Inquisitor, and she bolts. And it's kind of interesting. Like, she's not running away from this massive giant person, but like
she's
the threat of the
Inquisitor
is just too much. Yeah.
Personal exterminatus. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just called murder. Yeah. And,
that's what you guys call it.
Yeah, man. Just so many good things. Any more high points? Because I have one gripe with this book.
Ooh, go on.
I do have one gripe. Do you guys have any more high points to touch on?
Go for it.
The only one I was going to say, the only other high point, like I did like the ending with him in the trench. They talk about how that's like, don't do it. And it's like that cool thing that it's like, this is a test that can kill a space marine and it's frowned upon and all that. But I thought that was such an amazing thing that it showed that great character development of then him going, I get it. I'm going to do it too. I'm going to be a bad boy, and because it's important. Like he gets why they do it, and I think that's really cool. But now let's trash it. Now go, Ben.
That was one of my favorite moments too. Just such when he's like, oh, are there any more trench swimmers on my team? It's like I know there isn't, and everybody raises their hand.
That classic I am Spartacus moment.
Yes.
When the guy explained it to him, is like they all. You realize why they did that. They did it because they wanted
they love
not to go because they love you. They were like, we've all done it. Let us go instead of you.
Yeah.
Unless
so
you
good.
cut and socks.
So good. And so my one gripe with this book, I know that is talking about power levels of Space Marines. There's one gripe, and it's where they're when they first are dealing with the Inquisition, and they send them into just a crap show, and they just get kind of they lose the what's his name, the old medic guy.
What's his name? Merrick. No, something with the M maybe. Marl? No.
Mendez?
Saying Mario?
Mendez? I don't know. Anyways, and so, but it's him, and like when they lose him and the other guys, like there's like a crowd of cultists, right?
Yeah,
and just like in a throwaway line, it's like, and Brother Bob got ripped to pieces. I was like, they ripped farmers ripped a space marine to pieces. Yeah. Like, and I know they said he like in earlier he took off part of his armor, so I know that he was sort of vulnerable. But like, they pulled him limb from limb. I think that's what they said. Like, they pulled a space marine limb from limb
to limb. Yeah.
I was like, how does that work, Dan?
You're like,
tell us.
That's why it happened off camera. That's why it happened off camera, though. It's like if it's off
Mr.
there, you
Abnett,
have to explain it.
So that's my really one gripe is that I was like, how did that happen? I think he was in the Rhino, right? And he was like,
they
manning a gun
the Rhino, weren't they?
And so
maybe
I
threw
feel
a
like
grenade in.
And that's they blew they blew him limb from limb. That's what happened.
And then they turned around and someone was just carrying an arm, and they were like, "Did they just pull that dude limb from limb?" And I guess that
Tony, what have you got there? It's a space marine arm. I'm gonna put it on my shelf.
So that's my one gripe with the book. Do you guys have any gripes?
Just how it was written.
Yeah.
No gripes. No gripes, really.
I think Russ touched on it last time that it doesn't necessarily grab you in it being lots of short stories. Like, that's it. I think you definitely have to power through to get the payoff in the to have that full thing. I think each is an individual story. It reminds me a lot of sometimes in White Dwarf they do the short stories. And they're really interesting, but they might only be 4 or 5 pages long. It reminds you of like a collection of those. In some ways, just happens to be recurring characters. But I just think I think it can be a little bit of a grind if you're very used to the standard style of the 40K book, which is
you're more traditional.
Buckle up, it's very narrative. We're going from A to B, and you're along for the ride. But I think that's a pat on the back of the hand. Like, it's not a harsh criticism.
Yeah.
It's just
I think if I'd known that going in, it wouldn't even be a criticism. So maybe this is a criticism of Ben.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I think you're genuinely right. I think you're actually right. Whenever I recommend this from now on, you're totally right. I'll be like, "Here, check this. If you like Space Marines, check this out. It's a collection of short stories about that follows this guy through his Space Marining career." That's how I would set it up. Learning from this. Yeah.
I would say,
no.
do you know?
Yeah, it's not even a thing. Normally, you go through a linear. There's some sort of linear, and there is still that. It's just slightly. It's just
Time
not
jumps,
your standard. Yeah, it's just. But the thing is, they even talk about that. That's why I like the ending so much, because they kind of almost touched on that theory of relativity thing, where he's like, time for you has passed differently than it has for me, and that's why I think it's greater. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts, and that it's the end. It kind of, you're like, oh, that kind of ties into the whole fragmented section of this. Like, it's just because it's blinked past for him, whereas for her, a story told from her perspective would have been a linear, sort of like the beginning book. And I don't know, I quite, that's for me again. That's it was better almost that they went back and had that sort of nod to the time, the fact that it has passed differently for him. And for him, he's fought orcs, he's fought Drukhari, he's fought, and he's had all these experiences. He's hunted worms. That sounds rubbish. Big worms, snakes. He's hunted snakes. He's just stamped on the ground a lot, and he's just, damn, kill these. Like, everything's happened. Yeah, exactly. All these things have happened, and for her, like, you talk like, what have you been up to? It's like, well, I got that promotion I wanted. I got old. Like, I mean, that's it. Like, literally, but it's like being like her entire life has passed.
Yeah,
and and she's like just lamenting her age, and that's about it.
There was one other thing that I was a bit like about, which was the how at the start, like the tie-in with the teeth, the jaw, and that then they like just literally 3D printed it, and then like.
They like blinked through that sentence too, and it's and the nerds made a copy of it.
And the orcs
to the nerds.
I kind of felt a little bit like that. I was like,
So
I speak to the orcs more. The orcs doesn't tell the difference. It's like,
not
enough.
And I was like,
my lads.
Teeth is a teeth.
Yeah,
teeth is teeth.
With that, I was a bit like,
that's a T-shirt, dude. That's merch.
Teeth is
Teeth is teeth. That's a T. I'm not joking. That's a T-shirt.
Teeth is teeth.
My only, my final gripe is that they did bring out, I guess, like a follow-up. And so it's kind of, this is left of this book. I know we're talking about this book, but I was really disappointed in Urdesh, the Serpent and the Saint, which was back with the Iron Snakes, and it's not very good. It's not very good. Yeah.
Is it not?
And so,
no,
is this a direct?
It's not Dan Abnett.
Is it Priad?
Yes.
I was going to say,
it's all your boys, and it's
really
is the guy doing the voiceover still doing the James Mason impression?
Both of them I read.
Mason. It was like that.
Both of them I read, so it was in my head.
What's that?
Yes, it was the same voice. I was like,
what's
the
that?
Space Marine. Hi. That's how all Space Marines talk.
I'm a Space Marine.
Oh, the Emperor. Like, yes.
They sound badass.
Yeah. It really offsets their physical prowess. We're getting into battle.
Disarming
again.
almost.
Yeah.
Let's get a launch.
I just hope everyone now, when they read a book, hears Space Marines in that voice.
Let's get them, boys.
It's called Urdesh, the Serpent and the Saint by Matthew Ferrer. And I
heard him before.
I was excited to head back into the world. I was like, wow, it's not personal, Matt. I just didn't enjoy it as much.
It's not personal, Matt. We just think you're a bad author.
I mean, he poured his heart and soul into that book.
We just think you're bad at your job. Yeah. Not personal though.
I'm just saying.
No diss.
I've just found out he's from Canberra as well, so a fellow Aussie. So I shouldn't dig the boot in.
Oh wow!
So you can can find you. So now you're dialing it back.
Hold on.
It's like
he could personally a personal exterminatus. You got to be careful.
He could send the Inquisition on.
So now you love him.
Yeah, now it's
your favorite book.
let me take this back, guys. Let me just reel
tell
it
us
back.
what you really think. Tell us what you really think about this.
A tour de force. A tour de force of a novel. No, it was just because I really enjoyed it. It just didn't live up to the characters. Just didn't. Feel
Sequels are hard.
As good. The story, yeah, and maybe it was. It felt very generic. Is probably the best.
True.
It felt very generic.
Aliens.
Hey. That's a fantastic movie, right?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that's two examples of sequels there.
Two amazing sequels. Attack of the Clones.
Get out. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, Kill Team Casuals is down officially to 2 members. I'm
not mad about it. About it. I think we've lost dead weight. With comments like the Clone Wars.
Wow.
No, the Clone Wars isn't that bad. Yeah, I don't mind it.
So, what happens now with
Phantom Menace?
Yeah, that's true. What happens with Ben's book club from here?
Hey, chill out. The prequels are beautiful.
What happens
with Ben's book club
from here? Take it. What have we got to look forward to now? We've done our earnest review.
Thank you, Rhys, for keeping this ship on track. So here's the
We're
thing.
already at an hour and 40 minutes. I was like, it's happened again.
Okay, so listen. ORKTOBER is coming up, and we are going to celebrate orcs in every possible way we can. We're doing it with legions of Rorks. We're doing it with Ben's Orc Club. Okay, we're doing it with Russ's Orcs. Oh, more that's good. Yeah, and so we're celebrating orcs. Okay, so if you are a patron, here's the thing: we're gonna give you 3 orc books to choose. Okay, and if you are a patron for the Kill Team Casuals, if you're one of our lovely casuals, one of our filthy casuals, you can vote on which orc book we will be checking out. Okay, and that we will start on that the first week in October, which is coming up. And stay tuned on the Discords. We will be announcing. But I think some good ones in there are what is it, the Ghazghkull Thraka book? Does he have a book? All right, we have stopped time and figured it out. So here are the 3 books. Number 1 is The Beast Arises, which I believe is a series, and that we will pick a book from that features the orcs doing some orky stuff. Number 2 is Brutal Cunning. That's a newer one. People love it. I don't know if we'll love it, but we might check it out if you vote it. And number 3 is Ghazghkull Thraka, and which was recommended to us by our good buddy Glass Half Dead. So those are the 3. If you're a patron, you can vote on that. So that's pretty cool. If you sign up on our Patreon, you can sign up. And speaking of Patreon, time for patron shout-outs.
I just made a little bing. That almost sounded good. That was like a little bell.
Yeah, we brought a symbol with
a gong.
Patron money.
You know what it sounds like? You know those things that like the hippies like play those things on? Like, yeah.
Hey, Patreon shout out jam. So we have literally joining as we are filming this podcast.
No way.
Hillux. Yeah, Hillux.
Oh, what a legend.
Big shout out to Hillux who just joined the Patreon. We got Alan Chapman, legend.
Alan Chapman, baby. He's the guy he's leading the charge on daily podcast, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Alan.
He's really fighting for that daily.
He's the one who's leading the charge.
Yeah, he is now.
He's literally funding it now. It's hard to argue with him.
We need to put a stretch goal up that's like, ridiculous amounts, and then we'll do
Alan's keeping the lights on.
We've got George. We got Craig F. Lincoln.
Oh my goodness.
Craig
I'm going to do this wrong.
Some good names.
We got OLMXD.
Oh, shout out to you, Lowbrow.
Nice.
Nice. We got Average Joe 27. We have Vulture B, which is one of my favorite names, Vulture B. We got TS Freebooter, whose name is perfectly lined up for ORKTOBER.
The Freebooters. We love it.
We got Justin Kung. We got Red Panda. We got Roscoe 88. And we got our day 1 Kill Team Ken, KTK.
Yeah.
Oh my
KTK.
goodness.
Go. I genuinely, like, as someone who's never done a Patreon thing before, I am blown away and amazed.
Honestly, dude.
It's so
Honestly.
great
Yeah.
how people are getting on board because it genuinely does help us do this because, a bit of time goes into a bit of effort, but it also means we can do more and create interesting stuff and it motivates us to be able to keep coming up with the challenges. It makes the Legions of Russ keep running.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really,
speaking
really
of Legions of Russ, we have our first Legionary of Russ,
Oh!
which means Craig F. Lincoln is the first Legionary of Russ, which means
you beauty.
Yeah, which means and obviously we're in 3 different time zones, so it's going to take some wangling. But we're going to work to get Craig on for a episode of the Guest-Nental title, and my God, I hope he gets
Rhys,
it.
you got to defend.
I hope he can dethrone Rhys and
I
Craig.
hope so.
Oh yeah, I'm
ready to welcome
gunning
into
for
the
you.
jungle.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna. I don't think Rhys is gonna take kindly to the challenge. I think it's gonna be a war. But
territorial.
You'll have allies. But yeah, so that's the patrons and it just massive thank you to you guys. It really keeping the lights on.
It really is amazing. It really is very cool. Kind of blowing us away. Like every time someone else joins, we're like, "We got one! It's another one!" And we got one. Yeah, and
I'm thinking of Ghostbusters as well. We got one.
And that just makes me think we've trapped them, which is fantastic. Gotcha.
Just like
you're not going anywhere.
Just moving the trap underneath them and like put them in the bank.
Oh, lovely stuff. Lovely people.
In with the
best. Yeah, and then also a reminder to our patrons, to check out the Discord and let us know. Give us your username. So we can add you in.
There is a private chat where we slate Rhys. He has become more active in it recently, though. So Rhys
I gotta tone down.
mentally.
I'm just in there for those moments. I'm trying to do my best. I'm so bad with
I've been terrible.
Yeah, you are.
I've been worse than
Rhys
recently. I've been on holiday. I've been away this Rhys-end. No, it doesn't work that way.
You had a Ben moment. You just had a Ben moment live on camera.
No, I knew it was going to be rubbish. So maybe that's is that a Ben moment?
That was the difference.
The difference is that I'm not self-aware. That's the difference.
Well, I don't review your comedy that highly. Speaking of reviews,
what?
Oh my God. We're like, no more 2-hour podcasts. No, boys. No more 2 hours. 147.
So,
we've got some reviews. We've got some 5-star reviews, obviously. Why wouldn't we be 5 stars? We've got a lovely review here from Jason Mark Weber. And he says,
what a name.
Jacob Mark Weber. It's very good. I like it. It's from the UK.
Sounds like an author.
The classiest names. Does sound, doesn't he? He would be JMW. I'd read a book written by JMW if I could read.
Oh, yeah. If only.
And this podcast, all laughs, some kill team. Easily in my top 3 of Kill Team casual podcasts. Worth it for just the excruciating Legions of Russ alone. Come for the KT. Hey, no. Come for the KT, stay for the songs. And that is from JMW.
You get us, JMW. You really
I heard a rumor that Ben is actually going to redo all of the intros for ORKTOBER singing as an orc. That's just a rumor that I've heard.
I heard that too.
Brothers, don't tempt me with a good time. You think I won't? Remember how this whole thing started?
We know you will. If you had your own way, this podcast would just be jingles.
Just be jingles, yeah.
Yeah.
I will. This whole thing started with a fun little joke, and here we are now.
Here it is. I've got a review as well. I think I'll sneak this one in. This is from Warzel Muffin. Via Apple Podcasts from Great Britain.
Name.
Welcome.
Sorry, AWB. ABW. That's a better name.
JMW.
Their title is Best Patter / Banter I'd Heard on a Warhammer Podcast. 5 stars. As a sweaty try-hard kill team player, I get a surprising amount of enjoyment from listening to these filthy casuals. Keep up the good work.
Boom.
Oh,
I love
man.
everything about that.
Lovely.
I love everything
love it.
about that.
Yeah.
We appreciate everyone's joyful sweatiness being the players of casualness that we are, and that's fantastic.
Yes. Should I read off one? I just pulled one
why
up,
not?
or should we call it a day?
You've been good.
Okay.
Do we have a new one? Go for it.
Oh, never mind. We already read this one.
Well,
So
maybe.
never mind.
So,
Back to you, boys.
If you at home would like to help Ben have a review to read,
Someone
there's
leave
only
a review now.
there's only one
Is that
way.
going to work? Is that going to work?
I was going to call it the Ben Relief Fund, but then that got weird.
let's just
I
keep
had the Ben
refreshing the
moment with
page.
that.
No.
Keep refreshing the page.
Oh, no, that was
Right
the
one now.
tip old. Yeah. Sorry. Big blunder on mine. Back to you, fellas. Back to you.
Well, that was
What's it like in your part of the world? How's the weather?
That's a big 10th episode edition. We said we'll keep it under 2 hours, and we've done it by a bee's wings.
Just by bee's
Wise.
Absolute
by real
bee's
bees
wing.
ween. Real bees ween.
That's flopping in the wind. But thank you so much to everyone for listening. If you did get to the end of this epic podcast, make sure you leave Finn in the comments, FIN, to be added to the veterans of the long pod or the long cast, however you prefer to say it. Because we appreciate you. Oh, wait, Russ, what?
I owe an apology to someone for saying their name incorrectly.
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
I've been
never
calling
done
you
it
Ross for years. And I've known you for about under a year.
Damn it. You know what? I don't think I can get it. But just, it's there. And someone...
Boy, you pulled a lot of bins today, brother.
Someone's name was wrong. And you know what? I'm going to try and check it. But if I don't, and then I say it wrong in the veterans of the long cast, then just know Ben wrote the notes for me.
Yeah, it was on me.
And he wrote them all out phonetically because obviously I can't read. So obviously I can't be to blame. Someone
I actually have to write them all
me.
out in Legions of Russ, in those riddles. I have to write it out in that format.
Riddles.
So it is Ben's fault.
So if
sorry,
Ross
guys.
got your name wrong, he's doubled down and now forgotten
Tony.
you. So there you go. That's it for this episode. We'll be back
Thanks,
next week because that's what we do now. And we'll be
Back tomorrow.
gearing up. Yeah,
For the
back
page.
tomorrow. Thanks, Alan.
God damn it.
But we're getting very close to the end of the Intercession Kill Team Challenge. Don't forget, keep your entries flying in.
Oh,
because, it's literally just over a week and a bit till they're due. So keep hating, get modeling. Hey, Ben, definitely looking at you in this description here. Get working on them eggles.
I get it, yeah.
That has been Ben from Battle Brothers Tabletop. That's the guy. That's Russ from GFN Gaming.
And this is Chad
Rhys.
From Rhys to Wound.
This is Threes from Rhys to Wound. Whoa.
See you next time.
Have a good one, fellas.
Thanks so much to the veterans of the long cast. Now I'm going to read these names out without any prep. Thanks for the reviews: Glass Half Dead, Arbursons, Miniature Geek, AFS 777, Kill Team Ken, 1986 JCB, The Long Way, Diffathon, Mint Coco Moco. No, that's wrong. Mint Choc. It's hidden. Mint Choc Mojo, Nash the Bold, Jason Mark Weber, Warsel Muffin, and thanks to the veterans John Millick, Phone 31, Ferris, Nymphadoro, Parry His Parry, Pope Benedict 38.3, Megaston, Justin King, Stephen Burden, Mark Schuler, Mr. Red X55, Allosaurus Rex, Beast and Brushes, Ben Howard, Thomas Chandler, Etenay Tardif, Ernest Wanderer, Roddy Lewis, Mystique, Chops, Roger Leverscu Jr., Joe Palaya, Josh Grillo, Slacker at Large, David Bennett, James, Elder Basilisk, Adam Heterick, The Wordsmith, Kerbin, Joshua Hammer, Joshua Hamer, got it right, Mech Platypus 82, Black Sword, Eat Beans S'more, John Bodwin, Craig Lincoln, G3RG Gerg, Cohen, Fransax, Tim Brennan, Dan Wallace, Alan Chapman, Morenius, Kepler, Michael Pipe, George Triani, Waffle Wallace, Chase Spooner, Andrej Rakow, Ben Brother Bear Howard, Willie, Thanks for the Legion of Russ, Willie. Jason Belts, thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next podcast.